Let me ask you a question that surprised me the first time I learned the answer. Who do you think pays to maintain and rebuild public school campuses? Most people assume that the government does, but at least here in California, it doesn't. If you're new here, hi, I'm Chris Rainwaters, your favorite real estate witch and a licensed realtor here in Southern California. I help families make big life decisions with the full picture in mind, not just houses, but schools, infrastructure, and long-term community health. And this video is a continuation of the one I just released about how to read into Vista Unified School District's ratings more accurately. Here's the part most people don't realize. In California, the state does not provide ongoing funding to maintain, modernize, or replace aging school facilities. So that means plumbing, electrical systems, roofs, classrooms past their usable life, outdated portable buildings. None of that is automatically funded by the state. Districts are responsible for solving that locally. So the primary way districts pay for major facility upgrades, at least here in California, is through voter-approved school bonds. So these are called local measures because they only apply to a specific school district or community. And here's the important part. They don't just happen automatically. A school district can't just decide that it needs money and then just receive it. The funding only exists if the people who live there vote to approve it. If a measure doesn't pass, the money isn't delayed, it simply isn't available. This video is not about whether bonds are good or bad. It's about understanding how school funding actually works in California. So if you've ever toured a school and noticed aging classrooms, temporary buildings that feel permanent, outdated science labs, HVAC systems that barely work or are very loud or seem to have a problem, not random. That's what underfunded facilities look like. And here's the key point. You can't just fix facilities quickly. So even when funding is approved, it takes years to plan, design, and build responsibly. Now, facilities don't magically raise school scores, but they do matter because students and teachers do better work in spaces that are safe, functional, and built for learning. That's why you often see progress show up first in graduation rates, college and career readiness, and advanced coursework participation, long before it fully shows up in standardized test averages. This is also why school quality often maps closely to local wealth and development patterns, not just educational philosophy. We'll explore that more in depth in the next one. Anyway, so here in Vista Unified, the most recent bond was Measure LL, which was passed in 2018. What matters isn't just that it passed, it's how the funds were used, with independent citizen oversight, regularly independently audited. And we literally won like an auditing award for how well we kept the books. How fun is it that they even have an auditing award? For long-term planning instead of short-term patches and fixes. One example is the rebuild of Bobier Elementary. It's not a Band-Aid fix, but a full redesign built for sustainability and flexible learning. This is a big part of what districts mean when they talk about closing the opportunity gap, not just with curriculum or just test results, but with whether students are learning in environments that support them now and into a future that we can't fully predict yet. Closing the opportunity gap depends on the conditions that we build around students. Whether you already live in Vista, elsewhere in California, or are researching a move, or just have kids in public schools, this part applies to you. Every district has a facility plan, bond history, public oversight reports, and data that shows whether they're planning ahead or just reacting. Once you know where to look, you can tell the difference between a district that's patching problems and one that's thinking long-term. Now, here's where this gets very real for Vista Unified. The district has older bonds from the early 2000s that are nearing the end of their repayment period. That matters because it creates an opportunity. If a new bond is approved as an older one rolls off, the district can fund needed repairs and upgrades without increasing overall property tax rates at all. But here's the catch. Before voters can even decide whether they support a new bond, the school board has to approve placing it on the ballot. Right now, that decision is coming up. And at the time of recording this video, 2 board members are opposed to even allowing voters the opportunity to weigh in. That's not about whether you support a bond. It's about whether communities should have access to information and the right to decide for themselves. If you live in Vista and want more information about what's being proposed, how this works, or how to make your voice heard, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to point you to the right meetings, documents, and next steps. And if you don't live here, this still applies, so stick with me, because the same structure exists where you live too. Your district probably also has expiring bonds, upcoming facility decisions, and public meetings where these choices are made. Most people are never told that these decisions even exist or that they have real consequences for schools and communities. I'll link Vista Unified's website below so that you can see how it works here. And if you don't live here, I'm sure a quick Google search will pull up your district's official website so you can start looking into how it works there. And if you're someone who wants to make a direct, tangible impact on schools, not someday, but now, this is where my work comes in. When you work with me to buy or sell a home, 20% of my personal earnings go directly to a local nonprofit of your choice. For many families, that ends up being connected to a school, a PTA, a foundation, or a program that their child is a part of or about to be part of. That's real money going straight into the community that you're living in, not filtered, delayed, or symbolic. If you're already making a move, that move can also support the schools and programs that will shape your daily life here. Now, it's not the only way to support schools. It's just one option that lets people create meaningful impact without taking on more time, meetings, or emotional labor. In the next video, I'm going to go one layer deeper into the structure behind all of this, why some communities are able to invest more easily in schools, how things like development patterns and local funding rules shape what's possible, and why this looks so different from one district to the next across California. If that's something you want to understand better, like this video, make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned. Our schools don't exist in a vacuum. Neither do communities. Neither do you. And once you understand how schools are actually funded, a lot of things start to make more sense, including why local decisions matter as much as they do. If you're actively thinking about relocating, buying, or selling in North County, San Diego, and you want help looking at the full picture, schools, neighborhoods, lifestyle, and long-term fit, you can learn more about life here in North County in this recommended playlist, or this one, or schedule a time with me using the link below. I know where that is. And if you want to understand the political mechanics behind school funding, who decides, who blocks, and why, I'll see you in the next video.